Hey guys and girls, welcome to Jazzy J Talks, and let me talk to you about something today. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the US gun situation at the moment. Now, I actually have some figures I'm going to pull up right now. This particular picture I'm going to put on the screen right now has been circulating all over Twitter, and the fact that it's been circulating in such large numbers leads me to believe that this is an accurate figure. If this is not an accurate figure, I do apologise, but I'm going to be going off of this figure because this is the figure I've seen the most, and this is the figure that is the most up to date, because I've tried to look for how many mass shootings there's been, or how many shootings there's been in the USA as of 2019, and this is the only picture I can find. So do I think guns should be banned? I don't think guns should be banned in the USA, but what I do believe is that guns should be better controlled, and how easy it is to access guns, that's what the problem is. That's the problem. That's not right. Or you could buy it off of another person, and that's also not right. Now, I understand that it's in the Second Amendment, it's the second of all of the 27 amendments that there are. I think there's either 22 or 27 or 25. I'll figure that out later on. Okay, so I know that this is one of the many amendments, the Second Amendment, to have the right to keep and bear arms. I understand that, but it should not be that easy to access a gun. I think that there should be intensive background checks done. When you walk into a gun shop or you meet an arms dealer, I believe that you should have to beforehand go through intensive background checks. You should have someone sit down with you, a trained professional mental health expert. You should have your mental health checked before. You should have your criminal record checked. You should have just your family history checked. There should be so many checks. There should be an extreme vetting process before anybody in the USA is even allowed to possess a gun. Because a lot of people that have mental health issues, they're having free access to guns. That not free as in they don't have to pay for it, but they're just walking around with guns, in their jacket pockets or in their cars, or I don't know. I think that if you are to have guns, it should only be for hunting. It should be to keep in your house. If somebody breaks into your house, you can shoot them. Yeah, that's it. It should just be for hunting and for self-defense, but only if somebody breaks into your house or in extreme circumstances. Other than that, I don't think that it's appropriate, nor do I think it's necessary to have such free, lenient and relaxed laws on guns. Do I think it's getting better or worse? I think it's getting worse, because when you look at the number of mass shootings in the USA and you compare it to the number of mass shootings all around the world, see that the number of mass shootings in the USA is the highest. And it's been like that for over a decade, over 2 decades even. Mass shootings in the USA are always the highest number of mass shootings around the world, always, because of this stupid law that is so lenient on allowing any average Joe to own a gun that is of age. Absolutely ridiculous. So I know it's getting worse. I don't just think it's getting worse, I know it's getting worse. How many gun-related incidents around the world in 2019? I don't know what country that is. I'm going to have to look up flags, because I'm feeling a bit stupid right now. In Denmark, 0 shootings in 2019. In Sweden, 0. Germany, 0. Italy, 0. Ireland, 0. In Switzerland, 0. In the UK, 0. In Hungary, 0. In Spain, 0. In Portugal, 0. In Turkey, 0. In Belgium, 0. In Sweden, 0. In New Zealand, 0. In France, 0. In Australia, 1. In the Netherlands, 1. In Brazil, 1. In Canada, 1. In Mexico, 3. Now, here's the big shocker. 249. So if we add up the number of mass shootings around the world and compare it with the number of mass shootings in the USA, so we have 3 in Mexico, 1 in Canada, 1 in Brazil, 1 in the Netherlands, 1 in America. That's 7 around the world, okay? And then if you add that up with if you figure out the difference between that and the 249, 242. So there's 242 more shootings in the USA than there is anywhere else around the world. That is disgusting. So that's the number of mass shootings in the world as of 2019 so far at this point. So 249 of them, 249 out of 256 were in America and 7 were not. So let's just talk a little bit about the Second Amendment, shall we? So I know the Second Amendment is, it's part of the Constitution of the United States of America. And I know that there are 27 amendments in total. Okay, so the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution protects the individual right to keep and bear arms. It was ratified on December the 15th, 1791 as part of the Bill of Rights. So I know that this is something that's been deeply ingrained in American history for generations, not just centuries, not just decades, generations. I know that it's a thing that is not going to go away overnight. Heck, it might not even go away in the next 50 years. Highly unlikely. Because Americans do not want the right to bear arms interfered with. Even if it means saving more lives, most Americans don't seem to want that right interfered with. Most Americans seem to be comfortable walking around with guns, knowing that they could use it any time on anyone. I'm not saying all Americans are like that, but I'm saying that this is how it comes across as someone that lives in a country where guns are banned, and the only way you're allowed to have a gun is if you are part of some shooting club that, or some hunting group or something. Otherwise, you can't really handle guns. Gun laws in the UK are very, very strict. I think America, you've got large issues, and nothing to do with guns is going to be resolved until you learn to be less lenient with guns. Guns should be strapped to your wall in your house. Guns should be kept in a case with a lock. You should not be walking around freely with guns. I don't think that is wrong. That is really wrong. The only time you should have a gun is if someone breaks into your house. So you should keep your gun in the home. Nobody should be taking guns outside of their home with them unless they're going hunting. And if they're going hunting and they're caught ever using those guns for something that is not hunting related, they should at least get a year in prison for violating that rule. Americans don't seem to I'm not saying all of you, but a lot of you don't seem to understand. You need to have stricter laws with this. Otherwise, this gun violence thing is not going to change. Yes, you have the right to bear arms, but you also have the right to be responsible with those arms, because with great privileges comes great responsibility. And with that being said, that concludes my video for today. Thank you for listening to me talk. If you're still watching me at this point, thank you very much. Go and check out my first channel, Jazzy J, and my third channel, Jazzy J Self-Help. And make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also leave a like on the video and comment down below. Get a discussion going. Thank you very much for watching. That's all for now.